Hello, welcome to Swing State News. I am Lucas Whitty, political researcher of the battleground states. And today we are honing in on the most competitive U.S. House districts in the southeastern and southwestern swing states. Out of the 4 states included in these areas, there are really 4 districts that are competitive. In Arizona, there are 2 districts that we are looking at in the Grand Canyon state, Districts 1 and 6. District 1 covers the northeastern part of Maricopa County, which includes the suburb of Scottsdale. Currently, District 1 is being represented by Republican Congressman David Schweikert. David has been representing the state of Arizona since 2011. Previously, he has represented District 5 from 2011 to 2013 and District 6 from 2013 to 2023. Both of those districts from previous district boundaries are similar to the district he represents today. Over the years, Congressman Schweikert has won elections by over 20 points, but as Arizona's population grows, the race has become much tighter over the years in the northeastern parts of Phoenix. In 2022, David Schweikert won by a slim margin of 0.8 points. He won again in 2024 with an increased margin of 3.8 points. Still a very close race. Overall, this district is a toss-up, as it becomes an open seat for the first time since 2011, as David Schweikert has announced his run for Arizona State Governor. District 6 covers the southeastern parts of Arizona, which includes parts of the Tucson metropolitan area. District 6 is currently being represented by Republican Juan Ciscomani. He first won his seat in the House of Representatives in 2022. Juan Ciscomani also previously worked under 2 Democrat U.S. House representatives in his early political career. This district has changed a bit from the previous boundaries. Current District 6 looks close to previous Arizona's 2nd congressional district from 2013 to 2023. During those years, this district was represented by Republican Martha McSally from 2013 to 2019. She then ran for U.S. Senate in 2018 and lost. In 2018, Democrat Ann Kirkpatrick represented this area from 2019 to 2023, flipping it from being represented by a Republican to a Democrat. During her 2nd term as a U.S. representative, Congresswoman Kirkpatrick announced she was not seeking re-election, making this district an open seat. Then, in 2022, current Congressman Juan Ciscomani won by a slim margin to flip this seat again. He won by a margin of 1.5 points. And in 2024, incumbent Congressman Ciscomani won again by a slightly larger margin of 2.5 points against the same Democrat candidate of Kirsten Engel. This district is one of the tightest districts in Arizona, and one worth paying attention to during the primaries and the November election. Overall, Arizona has some other competitive districts as well, like Districts 2 and 4, which were both won with less than 10 points in the 2024 presidential election. District 2 is represented by Republican Elijah Crane, and District 4 is represented by Democrat Greg Stanton. All 4 of these are worth paying close attention to, but specifically, Congressional Districts 1 and 6 are the tightest races in Arizona. Now, let's move on to the competitive district of Nevada. District 3 covers the southwestern part of Nevada, including parts of Las Vegas. Currently, District 3 is represented by Democrat Congresswoman Susie Lee. She won this seat for the first time in 2018 and has been representing southern Nevada since she took office in 2019. This district is fairly new. Nevada was represented by only 2 people from the 1980s to the early 2000s. In the 2000 census, it added a 3rd congressional district. Then in 2013, Nevada added a 4th district from the 2010 census. Those district lines changed slightly from the 2013 to 2023 map to the map that we use today. This district was represented by Republican Joe Heck from 2013 to 2017, the first to represent the new district. From 2017 to 2019, it flipped parties to being represented by Democrat Jackie Rosen, currently one of the U.S. senators from Nevada. Since 2019, this district has been represented by current Congresswoman Susie Lee. In 2022, incumbent Congressman Susie Lee ran against Republican April Becker and won by a margin of nearly 4 points. In 2024, Congresswoman Lee held her seat, winning by a slimmer margin of 2.74 points. Overall, Nevada only hosts 4 U.S. House representatives, with 3 Democrats and 1 Republican. The state of Nevada is worth paying attention to as no congressperson won by more than 10 points in the past presidential election. And as Nevada's population continues to grow, with a lot of people from California migrating there over the past few years, it will be interesting to see how its demographic shapes and changes the United States Congress. Moving on to the Tar Heel state of North Carolina. The first congressional district of NC was one of the tightest in the nation, and it covered the northeastern part of North Carolina. The reason I use past tense is because the district lines are actually changing, which confused me a bit when I first found out. To tell the whole context of why that happens with this state would be a deeper dive of another video, but the short end of how the district lines will be changing is every district will remain the same except districts 1 and 3. Let's focus on District 1. Like we said earlier, District 1 used to cover the northeastern part of the state. It will now cover the whole east side of the state and lose some of the central parts. District 1 is currently represented by Democrat Don Davis. Don Davis won his seat in the U.S. House for the first time in 2022. The district boundary that he won will only be used for this election cycle of 2023 to 2025. Congressman Davis used to represent North Carolina at a state level, serving in the 5th District of the State Senate from 2009 to 2011, and then losing one election cycle and won that same district again in 2012, and represented the state from 2013 to 2023. Then, in 2022, Don Davis ran to represent the 1st Congressional District of North Carolina, yet another different district boundary than the one he most recently ran for. He won by a margin of 4.74 points. And in 2024, incumbent Congressman Don Davis won by a slimmer margin of 1.68 points. Overall, this district is changing. Don Davis is running for re-election from what I am seeing, and even to his own admission, it will be a tighter race than this past election where he already won by a very slim margin. However, I suspect District 3 most likely will become a tighter race as well. I don't say that off of gut feeling either. Even though District 3 was won by a large margin in 2024, nearly 50 points, there are sources like the Cook Partisan Voting Index predicting it with a 6-point lead, still favoring Republicans. However, that would be a very large shift from almost a guaranteed win to now becoming a more competitive district. Overall, I think both of these districts will be smart to watch as the district lines move, and it will bring in more competition. I just want to mention that Georgia is also a part of these 4 states. However, in a previous video, I mentioned that there aren't really any competitive districts in this state. The closest district race in Georgia in the 2024 elections was still won by 13 points. And normally competitive districts are within a 5 to 10 point margin. District 2 of Georgia is the tightest district from the 2024 elections, and it is represented by Democrat Sanford Bishop. Let's recap. Out of the 4 swing states from the southeastern and southwestern states, there are 4 districts that are tightly contested. 2 districts out of Arizona, 1 from Nevada, and 1 from North Carolina. There are also some other districts within these states that are close, within 10 points. And so you could say that there are upwards of 8 districts that are competitive in these 4 states. But out of the 4 that we are mostly covering today, 2 of them are Republicans that both come out of Arizona, and 2 are Democrats from Nevada and North Carolina. Republicans need to hold their seats in order to maintain a majority in the House. Democrats still only need 3 to 5 seats to flip their way this November to gain a majority in the House. I would like to note here that the House now has only 3 vacancies, as a Texas Democrat was sworn in on February 2. The House is now represented by 218 Republicans and 214 Democrats. These southern swing states could flip the House by themselves if we factor in all 8 districts that are competitive. There are 4 Republicans, and if Democrats were to hold all the districts they represent right now and win all the Republican seats, they would have a majority in the House after this midterm election. So, pay attention to your district and cast your vote in the primaries and general election to get the best people to represent you in the 120th Congress. Thank you for watching. If you find this information helpful or informative, I'd appreciate if you hit the like button and subscribe to follow along.